What up? 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 Hey. All right. So this is video number 5. Uh, if you've been going through my videos, video 1, introduction, video 2, journey through Christ, journey to Christ. Video 3 is about God's grace while I was in high school, and video 4 is about God inspiration while I was in boot camp. So now this is video 5, and this is gonna be God's grace story also, but this is gonna open up to Hood Chronicles. All right, and the reason why I'm gonna label it Hood Chronicles is because I got several of these, and if you ain't from the hood, you probably ain't gonna understand. So, I know I might attract different type of people, but if you ain't from the hood, you probably ain't gonna understand, this situation that I'm gonna talk about. Uh, so, it is what it is. If you're from the hood, you probably gonna understand it, might seen it, might been in that situation or whatever, but yeah, this is Hood Chronicles, what you say. All right. Video 5. All right. So like I said, I told you, 2003 I went to boot camp. Uh and I was in the military. I was in the reserve though. So like I said, I ended up falling back off, when I got out of boot camp and went to school and all that type of stuff. I ended up going back home and just getting back involved with street stuff. And that includes, smoking and drinking and stuff like that or whatever. And just, doing like typical hood stuff. All right. So, uh, also, I had a pistol and I had a shotgun that I had. I carried weapons. If you from the hood, there's always something going on to the point where you feel like you have to carry a weapon on you, to protect yourself. So I had a pistol and I had a shotgun. And in this situation, I think, by then we done been in, quite a few situations like this, and it has to do with, dealing with women or whatever. And like I say, if you from the hood, you understand, like, a lot of times you find yourself in situations because of women or whatever. And, I'm gonna talk about this story, but I'm not gonna say names. So, uh for those who know me or know, who was in the hood with me, they might know the story and they might know, the situation. But, for y'all might not know who I'm talking about. But so in this situation, I had a friend who had a girlfriend who, there was like always something, going on to the point where it's like, we find ourselves in some mess. That's how I look at it. We always in some mess. And in this situation, the friend, girlfriend had called and said that, they was having some issues over here at this other neighborhood. And she went to the extent of saying that, one of the guys touched his son. And stuff like that you don't play around with. That really can like trigger a guy to, really like go off the edge. And so, we reacted, me, him and his brother, and I think it was a few other guys. But we reacted to it. We was like, all right, let's, go handle this situation. or whatever. But like I said, in a situation like this, man, like, when you talking about kids, man, that junk automatically will put you to the edge to where it's like, bump that, we just gonna, you know, let loose, bump the talking, just go ahead and, do what you gotta do to let folks know, you ain't playing with them. So, we get over there and, um, with me, I'm the type of person that I'm a thinker, I ain't you sometimes you ain't gonna really like just get me with anything. Like you can't just say something to me and then I just take it for what it is. Like I'm the type of person that I'ma scope it out for myself. So while they was like, sizing everything up, I was looking like seeing what's going on. Is it true? Like what's really going on? So, it wasn't no like huge neighborhood. We come from a huge neighborhood or whatever. It was like a little project area, like a little apartment. Like, and I'm looking and it looked like mostly kids to me. Like I hear laughing, like it didn't seem like no serious matter. Like it ain't really seem like no threat to me. Like it ain't seem like it was a situation where it's like, man, we need to go ahead and like shut this down. To me it just seemed like a bunch of playing. So while my homeboys like they dead serious, like, calling them out, whoever it was calling them out because you can't really can't see who it is. Well, I'm looking, I see it like they had a light over there by one of the apartments, and I see like one of the guys uh, go towards the back. But like I said, you still hear like kids laughing and stuff like that, like they playing and stuff. So all of a sudden you hear pop 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 pop. That they went to shoot him. And like I said, it was one of those situations where, like, one, I ain't feel no threat. I don't know if they felt any threat or not either. And then two, uh, yeah, I'm just say it didn't feel like somebody was just shooting at you. There's a difference between people shooting at you and folks shooting in the air or whatever. So it just seemed like they were just shooting in the air. They wasn't really trying to aim at us and shoot us. So we was just still standing there. We ain't, budge or nothing. But it did trigger again, it triggered my homeboy to the point where he was like, bump that. All right, since y'all want to do that, we just gonna light up this whole dang apartment, little small little apartment or whatever. It was like, we'll be back or whatever. They didn't want to come out to the road. They went to shooting the pistols, which I understand, you can't be shooting pistols out if you ain't, because now you do have to handle the situation because you don't know if they'll try to, what I mean, do something. So, um, we get in the car, we going back, because we didn't bring no weapons. We just, jumped straight into the car and then went straight on over there. And, as we ride, and, I hear my homeboy, he had just got out of jail. And he was just amped up like he really don't care, because this is nephew, and he willing to go back to jail on some stuff like that. And they were just talking, but I'm just thinking, like, just really like thinking in my heart, like, is this really a threat? Like, is this really, are we being set up? Like, what if this some junk that wasn't even true. Well, they didn't even touch, the boy, and she just did that just to, cause sometimes a woman, will use that power, that she'll see that, we had a bunch of guys and we got weapons and stuff like that, and she know that she can use that, against the next person, so she might can get mad at him and be like, okay, I got something for you. So she'll, a woman have been uncalled and be like, oh, he did. They know what to do to trigger the man to, do something. I done been in that situation before. Not then, but I have. So you know, but I'm on the outside looking in, so I'm looking like, it just don't, it don't seem right. It don't seem like a real threat to me. Like this is different. And So I'm sitting there just listening. I ain't talking with them. I ain't like, yeah, I'm a, yeah, we gonna do this. Is more. I'm just sitting back, laid back, like just thinking. And it really dawned on me, like, man, what if this ain't, what if this is some fluke? And another thing is, these seem like young folks. Now, if it's one thing if you getting at it with a person on some street stuff, y'all both in the grown like street type of mentality where you get the shooting, you know, it is what it is. If somebody get hit, it's street stuff. If somebody die, it's street stuff. But when you talking about dealing with, people that's not in the streets, like if somebody get killed, like that's gonna become a huge issue to the point where they ain't gonna let that go, and you probably gonna end up going to jail because they gonna try to find out, because everybody gonna be telling, and then they already know who he is. So it's like we gonna get caught, and we gonna end up going to jail. So I was really thinking like, man, I ain't trying to go to jail on no fluke junk. Like, I know y'all hear me say that on the video, but yeah, fluke, man. Like, I ain't trying to like really like. It's one thing you go to jail, to stand on, how people say stand on business or whatever, but not if somebody they ain't just tricked you off the streets where they lied and stuff, and you know what I mean. Like you come to find out he ain't even, it's a fake beef. So but while I'm sending the card, I'm not saying this, I'm thinking about it. And going back to the whole pride thing, like I had a pride about myself where I wasn't going to, say anything to make me look like, weak. And that's how it is in the street sometimes, especially if you don't you can build a reputation where it's like you don't want to, tarnish your reputation where you sound weak or whatever. And I was sitting there, even though I was thinking those things, I ain't say it because it's like, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And but this time it was just deep in my heart. Like I just really didn't think that this is a real deal beef. And as I was sitting there and they was talking, I remember my homeboy was talking like he don't care about no parents, no mama, no daddy, no whoever get out, whoever come out there, gonna lay them out. Bump that, it is what it is. And in my heart, I was like, man, don't do that. And I, s- I didn't say it, but it came out. Like I said, I swear I did not say that. And the music was up. So when I said it, it was very low. Like the best way to say it, it was like I was sitting in the front seat like this, and I was like, man, don't do that. And like I said, the music was up and everything, and it just seemed like to me it sounded like it was real low. And then I was like, dang, did I don't remember. This just came out of nowhere. And the crazy thing about it is, they heard it and they said, "What you say?" And it was like, "That's it." I'm out there now. I'm out there. And I said, I just had to go ahead and say it. I was like, "Don't do it." And then it just all the wisdom came to my mind. I was like, you know, man, is this real or is this a real deal situation or is this one of those things that, you know, this is fake, I was like, I don't feel like this is a real threat. I don't think that, I was like, man, these seem like some kids. They got a shooting in the air. I was like, I don't think this is a real threat. And y'all know, cause the group we had, once you get it all built up, you can really like get a large amount of people, and we could have went over there and really did some damage to, like I said, where you really can't turn back from it. People gonna talk about it, and it's gonna be out in the open, and in a situation like that, you better make sure that it's something worth going to jail for. And I was like, man, it don't seem like this one of them things that is worth it. You know what I mean? And as I was just pouring all that stuff out, one of them, I think I can't remember which one. He was like, man, you right, you know, and we just really got to talking. Bump the in your feeling stuff is really we got to talking and really like really talking about should we do this or not. And it's almost like I de-escalated the situation. But and really I did. I de-escalated the situation because we ended up not going back over there. And then it come to find out, it was what I thought it was or whatever, you know. So, you know, uh, we could have went over there for a situation, like I said, it could have been a misunderstanding. It could have been just, a disagreement between a woman and a guy to the point where she used that power to try to intimidate the next person or whatever. And yeah, man, I de-escalated that situation. But the reason why I say that is God's grace, and the reason why I put God into this, because that wasn't me that spoke. I promise you that wasn't me that spoke, man. Like, man, when I say it felt like somebody said that for, like, I was like, I, what? I didn't say that. Like, it just came out, you know? And then for the fact that, it was loud enough for them to hear, what I said, because to me, it almost sounded like I was mumbling, like, man, don't do that, you know? And like I said, the music was on, so how was it possible for them to hear it? Like, but it's just me from, the inside looking out. It was like, man, uh, I can't believe it came out. And like I said, once it came out, I ain't had no choice but to just start, letting it flow or whatever. But I feel like I know truly like where we was at, we probably would have went back over there, probably would have did something that we would have end up getting caught and going to jail for, and then no telling how much time we would have got. Especially because, like I said, it seemed like it was a group. It was kids involved. It was a group of people, and it was a small area, so you can really like just really just somebody was gonna get killed, hurt, all that type of stuff. And it could have been real bad. But yeah, man, God, I believe that, God does things like that. God, I think God stepped in that situation because he knew what was going to happen. And he spoke for me, or he allowed my lips to move when I wasn't even trying to move my lips. And that, like I said, I had a lot of pride. I ain't want to stain my reputation. And like I said, that's just ego and pride and stuff like that. But God, I probably would have just went on ahead and ran with it and just took one for the team. But deep down in my heart, it was like, man, like I ain't trying to go to jail for this right here. Like, imagine myself going to jail and then find out that none of that stuff was true, and we end up killing these folks or doing something, hurting these folks and stuff like that, and like it was for no reason. It was some fluke junk, like I said. Like, I would have been pissed off. Now back then, if it was something for some like worth it, I ain't care. But not for that right there. Not for I can I would have been pissed off in jail. You know what I mean, I would have been pissed off. Like, man, this is not the way to go or whatever. So yeah, man, that's God's grace. Um, that ain't nothing but God's grace, and the one thing I hate about the story is um I know there's a lot of people that's in jail right now for that same thing, that I went through, that I avoided. Like, I was blessed enough to avoid that. And some people wasn't blessed. Some people probably ran through with the job and, did it and got caught, and dang, now they serving time for some junk that it wasn't even, worth it or whatever. And I hate that, because, it really sits in my heart. Like, dang, only reason I'm here is because of God. I did not lift my voice and say nothing. That was something like afterwards, yeah, that was me. I went on ahead and started, you know, talking. But, before like that was nothing but God, man. Ain't nothing but God, man. And, like I said, I feel for those that's in prison right now, man, for some junk, man. There be some real folks that be in jail that, it's like, man, y'all some genuine good people that, just in today's world, they be like standing on business or, just handling, a situation which a lot of people try to judge folks that's in the hood that do that, but it's no different than like with the countries that go to war and stuff like that and killing people and stuff. It's the same as that thing. So I don't care what nobody says. When it comes to that, stop judging people when you got bigger people that's doing it on a bigger level to where you got wars of millions and billions of people are dying over dang disagreements or whatever. So, I totally understand if a person is in prison for, getting into it with somebody else and, somebody end up dying or whatever. It be like that, especially like I said, in the streets. The reason why it's like that is because it's like a wild wild west where you know, people will do that, and it was a guy on Breakfast Club a while back. Like he talked about it. He was like, the reason why, stuff like that happen is because it's like in your mind, you be like, I got to get them before they get me. It's just like I said, when they got a shooting in the air, you don't know if, they might they know who we are. They might come back and get us before we get them. So you don't know. All right, so I don't, like I said, man, I don't even really, that's the reason why I go hard for God because I know I don't even really supposed to be here. There's plenty of situations where I done got away with it and people didn't, and I'm gonna, speak out for that, you know. So if you in prison and you seeing this video, man, I hate that you're going through what you're going through. Don't let nobody just, downplay, try to make you feel like something's wrong with you and nah, because people are out here doing the same thing, regular civilian people might not understand this where, because they going, you know, they're blessed enough to be able to go to work and come back home and have this happy like family and don't have to deal with threats and stuff like that or anything. But uh yeah, man, ain't nothing wrong. I'm pretty sure there's more people out there like me that been in the situation and didn't get caught or didn't go through with it and they're not in jail, they still out here walking about, their regular life as if ain't nothing happened or whatever. People in the military do it all the time. They go to war for these countries and they come back. and they expect for them to live just this regular old life or whatever. But no, man, God still love you. God loved David. David was a man of war or whatever, but God still loved him because of his heart. God don't judge, how men judge. God see your heart and see, who you is within that heart. And you can be like a good person that just got yourself in some mess or whatever. But it's all good, because even though you're going through what you're going through, God may have you there for a reason, for a purpose. Even though that it seems bad, He still got you there for a purpose, for you to, He might be saving you from something. You know what I mean? Like He might. It probably could have got way worse for you, to where if you were still out here, you probably would have never been able to came out, but you still probably still got a chance to come on out. You know, and you got a chance to, change your life around. So don't feel discouraged. Don't feel like, uh, you've been thrown to the wolves, and, just like God ain't thinking about you. But in reality is God do be thinking about us. Your situation might have not been like mine's, but uh, there's still a chance, and God still has a plan for your life or whatever, and it's still looked at as grace or whatever. It's still some type of grace that comes behind it. You know, and as far as my story, man, this is God grace for me, because, like I said, I didn't say nothing. That was, all God that initiated that stopped me from doing something that could have really, like, put me in a place that, who knows. Like I said, I could have been in jail for the rest of my life and not have no impact, a serious impact. Won't be doing this video right now. You know. So I'm thankful that God gave me an opportunity to, to save me from that situation, to where I was able to move forward. And I still, still was in mess or whatever. But like I said, God be working on you, and it takes time, and that's why He alone suffer. He's merciful and He's gracious, because that stuff is needed for us, so that we can, have time to grow and learn, and get to the destination that He's trying to get us to. All right. So once again, I'm thankful to be able to make this video. I'm hoping and I'm knowing that there's somebody out there that gonna be able to see this video, that God has led them to this video, and it's gonna inspire them. It's gonna just give them revelations to maybe a situation that they was going through, or like I said, man, they relate to it, to, they knew it, but now they feel like they're not the only one out there, and you know they feel special about it. This video might be straight for them. God led you straight to this video so that you can see this, and you can, know that, it's all God, and God, like I said, God got a plan for you. He ain't forgot about you, and you're gonna go on to do great and wonderful things. No matter how much time you looking at, what I mean, you still, people go to jail for 20 years and come back and still have an impact in their life or whatever. Um, it's just like with me now. I am hold on, turn this off. I'm about to be 40 years old. No, I'm about to be 40. I'm not even 39 yet. I'm about to be 39, but I'm about to be 40. So you can say, like, I spent, like, 20, just think about it. It's almost like I spent 20 years, and I'm just now starting to get out here and, be out in the world and stuff like that. So even though, like I said, I don't, live a life or whatever, but it still ain't. what you have to learn is that ain't nothing compared to when you living a life with God. Like all that other stuff that I did in the past, it was straight, man, but ain't nothing compared to when I'm walking with God, man, and I'm really living my life in truth and just all that God has been showing me just make life way much better. So, even though you done missed out, or it seems like you done missed out, man, God got a plan for you. You can be 40 years old and still have a great life. God can, you might not have no wife or no child. God can give you a wife and you have a child, and just your whole life can just turn around just like that, man. All right. So, once again, man, I'm thankful for God, and I'm thankful for you for watching this video, because I know God working on you, and I love you. Be blessed.